Did you go out a lot as a kid?
Are you kidding me?
I have this
Hell no. Hell no. I've been, yeah.
I have this image of just at least listening to you're not that age yet. Like Sydney's dad's like stories about how in America you'd go out and ride your bicycle, and it's such a weird concept where
Riding
parents would just trust kids to go out with no form of contact.
That's what I did.
Huh?
That's what I did.
That's what
That's
I
what
did.
you did?
That's what I did
Yeah.
as well.
Bro, I lived in Wales. There's just fields. I would get home from school and then I would be like, all right, I'm gonna see the kids in the park, and then I would be gone until like 9.
I would walk to like my friend's house, which was
So
just
did
down
you have
the road.
do you guys have like a curfew where you've been like you
dinner,
need to be
dinner,
back
by
by
dinner,
this
by
time,
dinner.
or we will call the police?
Well, no. They would just kind of be like, well, if he's not back by midnight, maybe we'll figure something out.
I think they were usually calling the truant officer because I would refuse to go to school, not because I was home late. So for me, it was as soon as I got home, it would be grab my GT Dyno, my cool bike that I found. It was like free. And then I would pop curbs where you do like stupid tricks and go meet your friends, go play baseball or whatever. And then we'd play Pogs and Slammers and like stupid, ridiculous, boring shit. And then go home and we'd also go to like Caveman Comics and buy a new issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or X-Men or whatever. And all these things were new still and exciting. And so
When you were in school, was there a big like trading card phase? Like, if there was there? What was that?
It started with baseball cards, which for a lot of that was still relevant.
Man, was everything in the world black and white then as well? Or?
It was. We got color.
Right. It looks like 12 Angry Men.
It was so crazy when we got purple and like greens and shit. And I was like, damn, this DLC is fire. But no, we had baseball cards that we would collect initially, and then there was these really lame things called Cabbage Patch or Wacky Packs.
I know.
Wacky Packs were my favorite. They were grotesque drawings of pop culture parodies. So instead of having like a Batman card, it would be this disgusting drawing of a superhero named Fat Man, and you would collect these and trade them. And then if you collected enough of them, you could have like one giant disgusting image. That was, back then we just didn't, there was no internet. There was Mad Magazine was still like,
I mean, the internet was not very useful when you were a kid because you just didn't know how to use it and search for things that you actually needed.
The internet only really became like a useful tool in the 2000s, I'd say.
But it was
for
in like the 90s,
general
though.
people, right?
Yeah, for like general people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, forum culture was kind of cool. Like, it was kind of fun at the time, but it is a terrible way of.
I miss forum culture.
Do you remember whenever anything happened to your PC and it'd be in a forum? And then it was just never helpful, but you'd always click on the forum just in case it helped you fix your PC issue. And it never fucking did. And the moderator was like, let me know if there's any more problems. And there was always like more problems.
Well, yeah, or it was like the forum would start off with the exact problem you had, but there were no replies.
Yeah. That's the worst.
But you would go on these trails of like finding any clue that was remotely successful. And finally, on the deepest depths of a forum, some guy would be like, yeah, I kind of solved it. Here's what I just had to restart and hold down X. And you're like, oh, thank you. And then we never upvoted it. We never said like, thanks, that helped me. Just move on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was
Not
a
all
crazy
heroes
time.
wear capes.
No, they don't. It was cool, I think. But like I said, even though as great as the 90s were, I think that I'm still enjoying life more now than I ever did back then. But it was...
Well, kids are probably hearing, oh, we were unbridledly optimistic. And they're like, what's that? How do you be a generation that was optimistic?
Well, that was until we were like in middle school. And I think most kids are optimistic until then anyway.
I don't know.
Really?
Talking to some kids, everyone like this, because of the internet, because of like the whole, I guess like a lot of doomer culture has been
penetrated.
Gotcha. Towards like the modern generation. And I don't know, it seems like because of how cynical the internet is right now, it seems like we were around at the time when the internet was this like bright, new, exciting thing. And now I talk to, some kids of the younger generation, and they are still optimistic, but
it's cool to be negative.
Yeah.
Self-deprecating humor was a rarity when it's my calling card, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I made a career off this in every single facet that I could, but when it was original back then, it played off very well. But then shows like The Office or awkward humor, or like now every kind of comedy is centered around negativity or self
That's been the British bread and butter for you.
That's true. Actually, what am I talking about? You guys had that.
What the fuck? That's all.
That's
our
true.
thing. Don't try to take our culture.
Yeah, that is definitely cultural
You took our
appropriation.
tea.
Yeah.
They've been doing that since the Dark Age.
that's true.
It's like, my lord, you're cringe.
British is still in the Dark Ages. Just so you know, we never left the Dark Ages.
But I do yearn for a more simple time where, and I think for me, that's why I like streaming so much, to bring it full circle, is that it's still, my approach to it is a game night with friends where presumably we're sharing games and having a laugh. And I've traded the 3 or 4 people who are always at my house to an audience who is there digitally. Yeah. But it was a crazy time. So much innovation in such a short period of time.
Is there any games you've enjoyed a lot this year?
Other than Balatro, of course, was I think just simply amazing. Dragon Quest 3, my God, it was incredible. But I've realized that as much as I love gaming, and I'm a historian of video games, I love it, genuinely, I don't play games anymore the way I used to because of streaming. It doesn't.
It's your job now.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't allow me the room to let the games breathe all the time, to viewer retention and caring about an experience.
Yeah, when you because we'll always talk when we play the same games. I'll be like, I beat it in 12. He's like, really? I beat it in 24. Like, what?
Well, it's for me.
You like, I feel like you make a show where I'm like, yeah, fuck off, Mario, let's go, fuck it.
It's like speed run.
I don't even intend to. In my head, I'm just like, I literally can't just sit there and wait. Like, I don't know. I just Subway Surfers on the side.
For what?
I don't know. Like I'm like a lot
of game to start gaming.
Well, I understand what he's saying. I mean, your purpose in your playthrough. I think it started when you had brain rot and played Call of Duty for 72 hours a day. And
oh my God, yeah.
But for me, my fondest memories of gaming are in the basement with my buddies, and one of us is on the PC playing whatever, and then I'm on the TV playing Resident Evil on GameCube. And I'm not really trying to go at any particular pace, but we're having discussions and talking about girls we liked or jobs we hate, and the gaming is kind of a byproduct of that. And then as we get towards the end of that, I'm like, oh man, I should lock in and 100% this. And that is not really a conducive way to stream, I think.
No.
All your friends come to your house to game?
Always.
Oh, you were that kid.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, because my parents are too strict. And my best friend, his parents...
I mean, my mom, I think, had already been like...
So they were like, it's free reign. So whenever I'd go to his, it was like, they wouldn't care if we stayed up all night. 24 hours playing video games. My mom would murder me if she knew I was doing that.
My mom, I think, no way. She was, so we had, for my entire senior year, Halo Combat Evolved had just released 6 months prior, or about that time. And we had every Friday for the entire year, Halo nights at my place. It started at 7 or 8 p.m.
Men just want one thing that's disgusting.
24 guys.
And you say your life is better now?
Actually, that might have been.
That sounds like.
Well, actually, when I went to America, Ludwig and the Yard Boys, they do they call it Penis Star League. They have a full LAN setup of Halo 3 and COD 2, Modern Warfare 2.
Hell yeah!
Oh my
they
God.
just do LAN nights.
It was
really fun.
LAN party, man.
LAN parties. No. It's you're right though. The LAN party vibe. We'd bring 3 guys. We'd have to bring TVs. The big 27-inch, 450 pounds. We would have 4 Xboxes, 3 link cables. And then the only rule when you came over to my place, we didn't drink at this time. God, that would have been madness. But we did drink a lot of colas. So you had to bring either 2 12-packs or 1 24-pack. And if there's 18 to 20
what's a 12-pack?
A 12
like
cans.
12 cans of cola?
2 12-packs or 1
12-packs?
24-pack. And we, like any Midwesterner, we had a spare fridge in our garage.
How many did
And this is
you...
like full strength Coke, right?
This is like Mountain Dew.
I've never heard
GameCube.
someone
This
call it
is
full
like-
strength
full
Coke.
strength.
This
Full
was
sugar, you mean?
RC Cola.
full
This
sugar.
was Jolt Cola, which had 3 times the caffeine.
Wait. So
Mountain Dews.
and how many colas would you drink a night?
So we would often, at the end of the night, which would go until my mom woke up for work, because she worked on Saturdays. Bless her heart, Jesus. I should send her all my money. So she would wake up and say, "Boys, it's time to go home." We would have well over 200 or 300 cans of colas.
Oh my God.
How are you alive?
4 of you?
Well, if there's, calculate it, right? Because the fridge, everyone had to bring 2 12-packs or 1 24-pack, and there's 18.
This is how he learned math. That's
Well, I don't know the answer.
He's like, I don't know what the math is, but I know I can drink a 24-pack in an
Easily.
hour.
And
This is guy math
It
in a
was so
nutshell.
much fun, man, because one map of Blood Gulch or it would take would take 4 or 5 hours because there was no timers on the
I
original
remember the
Halo.
first time I had a Monster when I was 12, and it felt like I had injected like pure heroin into my veins.
You had a Monster at 12?
Yeah,
They weren't
because
out
it was
yet.
like a around that time was when it was the whole like Monster and Red Bull marketing like really ramped up and it's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
cool to drink a Monster because the can's neon green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it tasted kind of good because it was super sugary.
Nah, I was a bitch. I saw like the older kids in my school like drinking Monsters, and I was like, that looks yummy, but I'm too scared to try it.
Well, because it was like a pound. It was like a pound a can, and it tasted good.
It's like
so I
if
would
my
get
mom
it.
finds out I drank that, she'd kill me.
Yeah, my mom was not happy when she found
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think I only discovered energy drinks when I was in university.
Yeah, same.
I actually
What?
don't think I had any in school.
I thought it was more of a cool thing, and I got kind of too much into it, and then I had to let down.
You sound like you did heroin.
Yeah.
I mean, the energy
I
drinks
got
are like
into it.
horribly
Yeah, it was.
addictive. You speak
It's
to
liquid
Yeah.
heroin,
like
basically.
For a kid as well?
luckily I was I was mainly like in college where I started drinking them a bit too much. I'd have like one a day.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were old.
Yeah.
And I have some friends that would chug like 4 Red Bulls a day, and you're like, are you and it's like really hard for them to quit.
Yeah. I stopped
And
doing
it is like having like fucking heroin. We had a mate, and he stopped, and he was having horrific migraines and shaking.
Yeah. I got. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I stopped drinking energy drinks after my friend almost died of a heart attack.
Yeah, that also happened too.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, never touching that again.
Well, I gave him up for quite a while, but at a school nomikai when I was a teacher, we had a Christmas bonin-kai or whatever, like end of year party.
Yeah.
And some people won like a Nintendo Switch. Some people won like yakiniku meats that gets delivered.
Damn.
I won 36 cans of Monster. No. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's fire these up again. And I had Yuki had to go out to like visit her family for like a week on a trip. So I was at home alone, and I played this game called Graveyard Keeper. It's a great game, but I don't think I slept for 6 days, and I was just kind of like, every time I'd just be like, let's just have one more round.
Oh my
And
God.
getting off of that only
Lucky to be a
ended
day.
because I ran out of the 36 cans.
Yeah.
Of
Man,
Monster.
what a fucking movie that could have been made in those 36 cans. The movie,
Man.
the ups and downs.
But those Halo nights were peak. And even I remember there was once where I got food poisoning because my mom made like tortellini that was expired for like 3 years, and we only had the one bathroom that we could use upstairs. And I was like, I'd already invited everyone over. There was like 20 guys there. They were already playing. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I feel really sick. I was like puking, and instead of my friends like helping me, they were like, hurry the fuck up in there, I gotta pee. And I was like, bleh. And then they ended up playing the games all night. And not one
While you're
person
dying.
like picked me up and was like, you good, man? Do you need some medicine? They were like, hey, we gotta go. Do we lock the door on the way out? I was like, this is ridiculous.
Oh,
Friends for life. Those are your bros you meet on Halo though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
sounds like the most Halo
was-
experience of all time. You know?
I got into Halo a lot. I mainly played COD though. COD was,
Yeah.
yeah.
I played mainly Gears of War, I think.
Yo, that was multiplayer that was fucked. That one had massive host advantage.
Yeah, that was
It
really
did.
bad.
It
Yeah.
It was hard. They literally gave. I don't know why. What was the reason behind this? They would give the host extra health.
No. What?
Yes. Look, Gears of War. Google it. Gears of War host advantage. The host just had extra flat health.
Really? I always thought it was the ping advantage.
His
Take more
shots.
damage.
Yeah.
Basically, the host is God. His shots are stronger, can seemingly take more damage, can down you quicker with Lancer, and has uber range on his guns.
Well,
it was literally impossible to play the game competitively because of this.
I always thought it was because of the ping advantage. Because
No,
when I was the host, you always have like a little bit of a reaction that is always going to be faster than literally anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, there was obviously that, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the stats were actually like buffed.
Right. Because that's what I always thought. But like,
I could be wrong there.
Gears of War was obviously really fun as well. Did your house have a massive basement?
It did.
Does
Damn,
every
Midwest.
Midwestern house
It
have
does.
a massive basement?
Because of like tornadoes and stuff, right?
I mean, that's probably the reason.
That's the
but,
actual
like,
reason.
But
Oh, yeah.
like, I think, and back in the day, the house we lived at, so I've always lived in the basement. It sounds so, but every house we've ever had
Literally your mom's basement.
was my mom's basement, and we had a fire like in one of our houses once where it was the first time I committed fraud. Where they told me you can write down the price of what you bought everything for that was damaged. I was like, well, this is like a cheat code because all my stuff was kind of old, but when I bought it, they were like, yeah, and I was like, Sony PlayStation $299, 27-inch TV.
Yeah.
And so we got this great check. I guess it's not fraud if that's what they told me to do, and statutes of limitations passed. But we moved
an
to
exploit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an exploit. So, a host advantage. So we moved to another basement with all new tech, and I think that not only does every house have it, I went back there when like 3 years ago when I visited back home. The house was like $180,000 to $220,000 for sale. It must have been like $35,000 when my mom moved in there, or something just like super affordable.
It does suck talking to your parents. And they're like, yeah, I bought it when it was a tenth of the price.
Sorry.
It's like, I bought it for 8 grapes and a handshake. It's like, all right,
It
cool.
was insane. I was like, wow. And this is not even that great of a house.
Yeah.
And it's not in a great part of town, but I was thinking, that's insane. It's so expensive.
Because every time I go to Wisconsin, like every time I visit like a friend or someone I know there, everyone just has like the most massive fucking basement of all time that is like completely decked out. It is like my dream. All right, because
It is the man cave.
I don't know what is it a man do we have like the manly urge to just build the perfect basement? Of
course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
You know what blows my mind about American basements? This is like those memes the European mind can't comprehend.
No.
They're like the full fridge and freezer, like separate.
Yeah.
A full fridge.
Yeah, and then you have
for the
box.
basement, and then like the perfect size freezer for a body. But like, how many freezed goods do you have? Like, that's crazy.
And
In America?
Yes.
I mean, there's a fuckload.
Yeah.
But it's like it's so much.
It's
so,
great.
so many basements I know just have like they have their own bar as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like your dad is.
yeah. My dad has that.
Well, you could have had like a big living room, but your dad was like, "Nah, mate, gonna have a bar."
Well, yeah, my dad was like, nah, living room's upstairs. This is my space.
Yeah, like just Joey's living room is like a foot.
It's tiny.
It's like a seat in a coffee table.
and then you go downstairs and it's like
the entire bar area
it's
could
like-
easily be a living
there's
room.
this giant bar, and then my dad has this giant record set up with the TV so that my
Yeah.
mum can play Wii bowling during Christmas.
That's great,
And
though.
dartboards.
Yeah,
that's our
best
base.
All right,
Right.
guys.
Easily better.
What's your dream basement? You own a house.
Dream
what,
man
what
cave?
are you putting in your dream basement? What's
All right, bar,
of course bar standard.
pool table.
Want a pool table? I want a poker table in mine. I want a poker table there.
Yeah, like just like an area that like obviously I want like the couch and the TV, so like there's like a game setup.
Yeah. I want like the thing. I want like every like game console just like laid out there. Like the fucking cabinet where you're like, what console do you want to play today? Just go
Then
through
you got
the
to set up
generation
some
of
elaborate
games.
switcher. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
get in there. And,
Yeah.
I didn't plug in the controller.
Yeah, I'll pay someone to do that.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'm actually anti-bar at the house. Like
Anti-bar at the house?
I don't ever. I like to drink, obviously, right? Like I love the izakaya culture, but I do not enjoy drinking at homes.
Really?
The vibe's all off for me, and I miss the kind of background
Noise, yeah.
chatter and the clinking of dishes and silverware, and I feel like it's a very conducive way to be lively. But
Yeah.
at a house, I never feel comfortable, and I think
Really?
it's because I didn't drink till I was like 27, 28 years old for the first time.
okay.
So yeah, it might have been the delay on that
Right.
one. So I
Right.
missed house parties and stuff.
Are you saying that we might have been drinking for longer than you?
Yeah, that
Guarantee.
worries me a
I've
lot.
been catching up though with consumption
Yeah,
amounts. So like
In Wisconsin, going downstairs and having your dad drink is just, I think, everyone's core memory there, actually.
Yeah.
wow, see that's so fascinating. Like they pour like bourbon or something cool, and they
It's just like
or
you go
beer.
downstairs, and
Yes.
it's
Like
just the
before-
parents
yeah.
watching the game, basically.
Yeah, your parents just spawn down there.
I think
With a beer in their hands. It's like-
Australia is like the UK though. I think most our
you go
parents
outside.
drink.
Yeah, well, we also have a balcony as well that you can
Guna
like go
Fortune.
drink at. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, or like a
okay.
backyard.
I don't think his dad was drinking Guna Fortune at home.
No,
casually.
my dad had money, so
But some Australian
only broke college kids would do that,
Yeah, that
which
was-
we did.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I missed out. So, but yeah, the bar, the poker table, the
Poker
pool
table.
table.